All right, Zoe, Diana. Zoe probably needs no introduction to people that are playing Runeterra at this point. Wonderful, elusive threat that generates card advantage here with super cool star chart. Levels up when you've played 10 differently named cards. We've played a couple of other Zoe decks that pair her with Lanari Dustbringer before, and this card's been really impressive alongside Zoe. So this is basically 2 differently named 1-mana cards that you want to play out quickly anyways, which really helps Zoe level quickly. We've had games in other Dustbringer Zoe decks where we level Zoe as early as turn 5. Diana is a phenomenal mid-range threat. So she's a 2/2 with quick attack that Nightfall gained the challenger mechanic to force things to block her. So this is an aggressively slanted threat when we need to apply pressure, but her quick attack plus challenger also lets her control the board. Quietly, one of the best things about Diana, though, is that her champion spell is Pale Cascade, which is arguably the best combat trick in Runeterra at the moment. So by playing Diana, we basically get to play 6 copies of Pale Cascade, which is really strong. At the top end of this deck, we've got things that generate card advantage like Priestess, Mountain Scryer, and even some Star Shapings and Eclipse Dragons. One of the big blowouts we get to play in our mid-range deck is the Sky's Descent here. Because we have dragons and celestial units, this allows us to play this really powerful one-sided sweeper to blow out other mid-range and control decks that are looking to gum up the board against us. We also have a couple copies of Atrocity to punk people out in the mid to late game, but you'll note that we're choosing to play Sunburst as opposed to Vengeance because Mountain Scryer specifically uses the Allegiance mechanic, which encourages us to have as many Targon cards as possible in our main deck. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. Show us the curve. I want to see the 15 drops. I mean, you know. Okay, Jeff, you did it to me. I want to learn and go into Runeterra. What's going on, Stormy? The how-to Runeterra video is right there on my YouTube channel. Chuki, you're absurd. Thank you for the pile of sub-gifties. I appreciate your generosity. BTY Yish, thank you for the 3/4 year. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. All right, Garen Fiora, focus. Freljord, probably a Plaza deck. I'm going to keep Zoe on one, obviously. Keep Pale Cascade to try and protect her a little bit for some single combats. Or at least let her trade with things at single combat. Eclipse Dragon to start's probably not great here. Milky Way and Victor Mellon, thanks for the follows, by the way. Welcome to the channel. Hoglandia will never surrender to the Coastal Wizards. God bless you. What are the important differences that won't need a big explanation? There's a quick one. What's up, bud? You beat Bastion? You're so good at games, bud. Good job. That is all of Bastion, yep. You can still play it, yep, when you start up here again.
Maybe another game about this.
I think you gotta wait for the credits to go. You gotta wait for him to go all the way through, and then it'll let you play again if you want to play some more. I think we're past. I think we're taking this. Yeah, no problem, Stormies. And there's a bunch of channels in the subs Discord server as well that'll help you get started too if you have questions. I think I'd rather Moon Silver here because I think with 777 drop, we actually want to be able to play one of these ahead of curve here. I think being able to play one of these on 6 is going to be important. You beat through all the levels, yep. That's pretty cool.
By my honor, you must die.
We're just infinite off of Scourge, right? I think we're just taking the Serpent.
Passed by the stars.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Show them our strength.
What is strength without style? Strike quickly, strike deftly.
So we're gonna be able to play Eclipse Dragon next turn, which is nice. Santi V and Ghost Inhaled, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. So we played Danger Noodle already for the turn, so I could go ahead and Pale Cascade this here to trade with Fiora. I suppose if they have Brittle Steel, that goes sideways for me, but if they have something like Sharp Sight, I get to go ahead and hush this.
Everything I've worked for.
So I want to save at least 1 mana this turn so I can play Eclipse Dragon as Nightfall next turn. I think I'm just playing this here to play it.
Embrace the night.
Oh, they can't Sharpsight or single due to Stony. Right, this is symmetrical. I forgot about that.
Resolute.
Sunlight fades behind the moon.
Oh, that was free because of Mountain Scryer. I was like, why is that card cost 1 less? This makes it cost less. I was like, for a second there, I was like, is that a visual button? The mana is not quite like Hearthstone. The mana system in Runeterra is really elegant. It's like they fixed the curve variance that Hearthstone has in it. Eclipse Dragon showing us the card advantage it's capable of generating here, which is awesome. The mana system in Runeterra and the way you're able to shave mana across turns is way more skill testing than any other system I've ever used. I love that you're excited about your game, kid.
Shining gifts from the sky.
Spell mana is efficiency that you have to think about over multiple turns instead of just one. And it's a great way to put it. Instead of thinking about, okay, am I being efficient this turn, you need to think, okay, am I being efficient this game, and how am I sequencing to achieve that?
Smell something.
Just gonna go ahead and trade these. Unlocking upgrades in the board. Oh,
My
it's loaded.
shield is yours.
You can change weapons and stuff.
Must
Oh,
fall.
I thought they were saying.
Garen leveling here is really scary. So this gives them a rally at the start of each round, so they're gonna be able to
Oh, part.
yeah, and with this being what it is, I basically makes this a lot worse against Garen. I think I just want to play chunky monsters down here. This makes the next Dragon or Celestial I play cost less, which is nice. Atrocity is just a way to kill people. I don't really have experience talking about this deck's matchups, D-Rock, because it's not a deck that I've played before, so. You're looking for insight into where it's good and bad. It's good at stealing games that you otherwise weren't going to win. It's generically what it does. These Stony suppressors have definitely been given us the run around here. So the problem here is I can trade off a little bit, but they're going to be able to open attacks next turn, right?
Can I paint you?
Am I dead to opens? I don't think so. We block here, we take 12. Yeah, we're not just dead to open, so that's step one. Wonder what Freljord cards are playing. That's a good question. Maybe just a couple of Frostbites? Give all allies 2/2 and overwhelm this round. Well, that'll do it, pig. That'll do it. Don't ask for whom the bell tolls. Yep. 9 mana overrun. Still pretty good. Okay. Love you, bud. Yeah, opponent's deck was kind of like Garen Elite, but with the small splash for the overwhelm card. You can play whatever you want, bud. Okay. The Mario games are kind of hard, though. You already beat Mario Odyssey. Why don't you play Mario Kart on the other Switch? You can play more Mario Odyssey if you want to collect more Power Moons, because you beat all the rounds, but you didn't get all the Power Moons yet. I'm gonna mulligan the Priestess, because it's a small body that Fiora just gets to eat in this matchup. There's been a few people that have been working on Twisted Fizz in a couple different variations, notably with PNZ. There's a build that's been going around that one of the players in Masters was streaming with a little bit.
With a little time, I'll have a breakthrough.
It's built around like Burblefish plus I think I'm just taking this pass and burning my mana here. Them not getting to develop seems fine for us. Well, we know there's an atrocity on top of our deck, chat.
Two worlds, one balance.
So, this card does not get its bonus if you, if you don't have a card of the same region on top of your deck, is what happened there. Crescent Strike's probably useful down the line here.
Constellation. Nature blesses her followers.
We each defend our brethren.
I wasn't expecting them to develop there. This is really good for us.
Follow the tracks.
Runeterra is the best looking card game you will ever play. Maybe ever. It's definitely the best looking I've ever played. Do I want another Crescent Strike here? I feel like I'm in for another Crescent Strike, huh?
The mountain changes.
I want to deploy Diana this turn. What do I want to discard? Star Shaping has a lot of appeal with these in play. Could just pass to start and see what they do. I'm gonna pass to start and see what they do. I get they want to burn mana here. I'm okay with that. To be fair, it's way more affordable to style things in this game than Magic Arena. To set a low bar.
Water changes but never breaks.
This might be crazy.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
The messenger chases stars from the sky.
Gravity? Which side was upside again? Whichever way the paint drips, Zoe. Are you part person, part moon, or the actual moon? Moon.
I am mortal and divine.
Face your heretic.
The Spell Shield / Barrier stop Atrocity. It does not. So Spell Shield explicitly only protects from your opponent's spells.
Moonlight guide me.
She shall be guided, chat. She'll be guided. Do 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 do. All right, we lost Diana, but we got a riposte out of it. So
What form will the waters take?
not amazing, but fine. Just submitted a Trundle Lux ramp deck I've been working on. If you're willing to play a Pursuit Rush or Legion Runner copying for beams, I'd submit those as well. Gamer, Trundle Lux ramp's probably fine. If you want to put the other ones through the form, and I'll send you an email back to let you know if those are okay or not. And in general, you should always submit through the form first before sending money, just so I can take a peekaboo at them.
Find them unworthy. Sweep them away.
But my Pale Cascades draw cards, Navier. What did you wanted me to draw fewer cards? You some kind of monster?
Nature blesses her followers.
This is the wrong path.
They have 8 mana here, so I'm expecting some tricks back from them.
Counter and strike.
Our wills align.
Rough.
Nature blesses her followers.
Yeah, that combat could have gone better for us.
A gift from the river folk.
What's you doing over there? What's in here? I call this constellation the jump rope.
Well, some of those were Fiora's champion spells, so they definitely could have more robust here still.
This is one of the record books. What form will the waters take?
See if they open attacks here again or not. Well, poop. Yeah, that could have been better, Pelly. Lead on Pale Cascade and then Hollow Moonlight after the fact. Think you're correct with that assessment.
Enforced equilibrium.
What a specimen.
Try me. On guard.
Say they gotta kill Zoe, right?
I can't even!
It's kind of funny. I saw someone. This is the thing. I saw someone post this archetype on Twitter claiming that they thought it was the best deck in the format. And so far, I mean, what we're doing does stuff and things, but definitely not getting best deck in format vibes. And the data that we have does not back up that claim, which always makes me chuckle when people try to say things like that without having any actual information to go with it. It's like, well, I played 20 games with it and I won a bunch of them, so it's great. It's like, well, specifically Zoe Invoke. I think they had cut Diana from it, if I recall the screenshot. This was a lovely draw. I'm sure there's 6 cards that were different, are all the difference between the best deck in the format and what we're doing.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
Easy open attacks here.
Night flowers upon my blade.
And that's something that, like, having the data that Runeterra gives us really has highlighted to me personally how much of a hard time even good card game players have separating their feels from reals. I think I take the pass here in case they have Valor.
Riddle me something.
Equinox sounds good against this down the line. We're playing the super cool star chart before I attack so I can generate another star chart. That does mean I unfortunately can't invoke this turn, but it is what it is.
No prey, no prey.
There's definitely a huge bias in favor of control decks. That's true. You cut Atrocity for Challenger Dragon. Oh, so you change the secondary region. I'm like trying to process. Like, that's not a card in our region. You change the secondary region.
The sights are fine. The smells, on the other hand.
Hush, little Quinn, now don't say a word.
Time for violence.
Man, this attack into Pale Cascade is real bold.
Love ya.
Unfortunately, do not have a way to punish. Am I just playing this out to like play a 1/2 to the board?
Her light will always rise.
Yeah, there's been variations of this archetype that are also Plaza Invoke decks. I've seen those variations as well.
Her light is our sword, her warmth our
I
armor.
think I want to play this here. I could Dusk Petal Eclipse Dragon, but that'll probably overfill my hand. So I get rid of 2 cards. Okay, I think I like gaining a little bit of life here.
What we're made of.
Well, shit. Okay, I think I'm obligated to do this and attack at this point. The new sub counter, in addition to giving a better metric, does look nicer as well. You're not wrong. Do we Equinox something? Yeah, it might be right to Equinox one of these two after we attack. Probably Cythria, so I can jump block. I guess if I Equinox this, they're less likely to kill Zoe. We're dead, right? Oh. Yeah, I was expecting more from this. I guess there's a reason why it's not super popular. Someone else said the metrics on Mobilitics earlier imply that it's pretty average in terms of win rate. It's just about 50%. Yeah, that's for a lot of decks.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
I feel like 49 to 51 is like the solidly average win rate range.
Look at this reality! Look how sparkly! And ship time!
This is not an aggro deck, Violet Journey. So we had played a Zoe Diana deck as one of the first decks we played in this format, and it was a Zoe Diana Starlit Seer Frel Splash elusive aggro deck. And that's when I should probably try to make a point to get back to at some point, because that felt really good when we played it. But this what we're playing is a mid-range control deck. 100% we are playing a mid-range control deck.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Hey, you brought back my favorite star!
Well, our Mountain Scryers are guaranteed to hit, because we have double Atrocity in hand. Upside to that clunkiness.
Targon's history is in each stone and star.
Yeah, I don't think this deck is bad by any means. I was mostly just musing on the fact that I saw someone call a variation of this the best deck in the format, when the metrics don't imply that.
I know these paths well.
What's in here? Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
Yeah, pretty happy to burn mana there.
Doggo, doggo, doggo!
The discount on these looking real good here. We get to do this and this turn.
Paint me and Stomper playing catch with Zoe. I'm a serious artist now. I can't scribble flex.
Doggo, doggo, doggo. I get to murder one of these two and my Zoe, and then hit me with their Zoe. Yeah, it kind of feels like we're getting bigger fished here. Like our opponent's gonna have Ace Ult at the top end of their curve. Maybe this plus the Atrocity can punk them out still. These Atrocities are probably gonna be our saving grace. Opening on attacks here sounds good. Hit them for 6 or 7 here, most likely. And you get double hushed. Or just hushing to pop spell shield so we can Pale Cascade. Yeah, that's fine. Want to get my Daybreak Invoke with this. Like, I think Travelers actually, so what's their Zoe at? 7 out of 10? Probably need to murder the Zoe, right?
Bask in her radiant blessing.
This is 4 because of the Mountain Scryer. And then I technically don't behold the Celestial for this, so we're going to want to be careful with whatever we invoke off of this to make sure we can activate the Supernova. I guess we have this too still.
Their sense travels on the night air.
With a little time, I'll have a break.
Yeah, I don't want to get got by like some random combination of like Moon Silver or something else that I forgot about. Like if they have like Moon Silvers and then Invokes and then like Pale Cascade or something, dealing the extra damage to Zoe is just strictly correct there, even though they're at 0 resources.
Channel our power!
I'll follow where I can.
That should show up as one point each month, Rotobagel.
Have faith.
If I understand how the long sub payout works. So I've played 3 others here. I think we just play this and try and crack them, huh? If they try to hush plus block, I have Pale Cascade to save it. It's a bit better against the hush block plan. I at least get to trade with this. Oh. That's greedy. They should definitely be blocking here. Yeah, both of their blocks kind of get blown out by Pale Cascade, but this one still trades with this at least. I probably should have attacked with this too. This deck in this game, like, we've got a lot of tools to go long here, but it definitely feels like I'm struggling to be able to play out all of the cards in my hand. Like, I've got all this card advantage, and I'm struggling to leverage it properly. Meteor Shower kills these two. I kind of like this because I need a Celestial for this, so like this lets me do something and then have another Celestial for this. It's a massive problem in this deck, yeah. So if I play this, I will burn my draw next turn because I just have so many cards. none of these are particularly cheap. All right.
It was my heart that led me here.
Card advantage go burr isn't usually a good strat outside of Runeterra. Yeah, that's super accurate. And in large part, that's because Runeterra has both players draw a card each turn, right? So your hand tends to be very full, and you don't have dead draws like lands clunking them up. But compared to something like Magic, card advantage tends to be a lot less important here.
Like this.
Forge ahead!
Is this what you see?
See if they have a Hush or a Pale Cascade here. They've already played 2 Hushes. I don't think they've played many Pale Cascades, though. Okay, I mean, all things considered, that being the card that they have isn't that bad for us. It means we get to trade with that at least. And this isn't hitting us this turn.
Twister never loses because Zoe makes the rules.
Zoe makes the rules. This is the part where they play Asol and we curl up a little ball and cry. Play something that's not Asol, please. Dealer's choice, not Asol. Yeah, I imagine this deck has a Rancid Fearsome matchup. With how expensive all of our cards are. Now that's the thing I explicitly asked you not to do about it.
Beast Dragon, make me something sparkly.
Maybe a mountain burning under eternal starfire.
Okay, so we do this and pop his Spell Shield. And then this gives us a Celestial for this next turn.
Bright light!
I think it's just Moon Silver. I think I just need things to be cheaper than they are.
My, how they stare.
This is a big open attack. So we're going to 3. I mean, to be fair, that one always invokes... That one always invokes cards that are expensive. I think we're just popping Spell Shield with the second part of this. We've played some Celestials this game, chat. We've played a couple of Celestials this game. Just noticed I hadn't used my free Prime sub this month yet. Hi, Hoglandia. Thanks for the support, Disconnected. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. 10. What a stupid game. Atrocity's a dumb card. I don't know that Atrocity's okay, chat. I don't know if I'm okay with it. The kids aren't alright. That was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this deck still, but like whatever that was, just like, alright, sure. Fling 20, go. I don't really feel like playing a mirror. I don't think playing a mirror sounds very interesting. I wanna just, I don't care. We're at the rank floor basically. I don't care about our LP. Let's try and play a not mirror game. I would really like to play against an aggro deck to see if we have any staying power against that. We're playing a mirror and Masters. The deck is busted. Sweet. Aggro me. Can we beat Zed Katarina? Do we have the Zed Katarina matchup on lock, chat? And I ask the real questions. I've never been on the receiving side of an atrocity that felt good. I agree.
Explosives primed.
One star's Moopsy is another spark.
Everything's in place. Boom.
Hold still!
Hey, Coca, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good afternoon. It's not afternoon yet, and so I'm not fully used to my earlier start time yet. Usually by the time we're 4 hours into the stream, it's the afternoon. I guess it's afternoon and evening in some places, huh? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, chat.
Sure about that?
We got a puppy and we just found out he's ticklish. Dogs are fun. Hair everywhere but fun. GNS, thanks for the 3/4 view. I really appreciate that. Welcome back.
Crabby.
That's my resting face.
Yeah, it's my resting face.
Quietly.
Only a fool would enter battle.
We're doing this. Can't block, obviously, but I think this is the play.
Move.
And then next turn, we Sunforge to gain some life back up. For folks who are my regulars, by the way, I think the earlier start time is going to become the new norm. Back to 8 a.m. cornfield start times. Still planning to do like 6 to 7 hours of streaming a day, but just shifted down a little bit.
Remember the objectives.
Deal?
Empire proud.
Channel our power!
Pledge yourself to the shadows.
We just murder Zed here? I'm just gonna murder Zed here. Looks like Kinko elusive with some noxious burn cards. Yeah, that seems accurate.
The order.
The order.
Blast them. Full speed ahead.
Focus on me!
Starting tomorrow, we have a nationwide curfew. People are getting dogs, so they can ignore it. Well, you know. People gonna people. So I could play Eclipse Dragon this turn, but I think it's important that I kill their elusive. Equinox sounds great here to deal with their next elusive.
Find your own light within the darkness.
Yours is a light I cherish, Moon Sister.
Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Rutabagle.
Sorry, rise!
I will be heard.
Master said will be pleased. A taste of my skin.
All beauty is transient.
Hey, leaked it out. Leaked it out. Bested the aggros.
Across the land.
I got you, Dark. I got you. I got you, Dark. Ooh. Do 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 do. I'm in Masters. I don't have to care at all anymore. Bye, Leeson. Listen, chat. We played against Leeson once today. That's my quota. How does the Masters ranking system work? So you have a number. The number you see displayed there is my number of ladder points, and you earn points for winning and you lose points for losing. There's also an in-client leaderboard that lets you look and see how other people on the ladder are doing. That is correct. You also, just like you can't fall back from diamond to platinum or platinum to gold, etc., you can't fall out of Masters. You can just hang out and get beat up at 0 LP all you want. Yes, bigger is better.
It's just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly. I am
Contrary to what society would have you believe, chat, size matters. You just open attacks here and then play this as Invoke, and I think there's a good chance. They had this, that's fine.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Your MMR gets ruined. What does that mean? How does MMR factor into something I care about? Can you explain? MMR is matchmaking rating, but your current rank is what pairs you, right? So what does MMR actually do?
The eye of twilight sees all.
1 crescent strike, please. Yikes. If you tank your MMR, it's harder to climb. Why? How? What's the purpose? That can't be true. What's the purpose? Like, your rank is your matchmaking rating, right? Are you telling me that can you cite a source on that Runeterra has another hidden metric? Or is that just like pure speculation for the people that think the Shuffler's out to get them?
Chart our path by the stars.
I'm probably supposed to wait to play this till after they do this.
Nature blesses her followers.
That's how it works in League. So, at the risk of upsetting tryhard TCG card game players, it would make sense for something to work that way like that in League, because League is a skill-based game. In League, because it's a team-based game, your MMR and rank can be different. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So you could be a good player there, and your record might not be reflective of it because of the team aspect. And stanky teammates. And I can only assume everything that's being posted in chat is truthful, because why would a person go on the internet and just lie, chat? What do they stand to gain? Chat wouldn't just lie to me. Joey Heimer bump, please, for your birthday. Happy birthday, Zintoth. Yeah, I'm happy to bump that up. We'll do that. We'll do that after we're done today. Always remember, another thing you do at the channel points is like a Zintoth there. If you want to dictate what we play and how soon we play it, you can use that to adjust the status of things in the deck queue.
The hour is mine.
Do I want to hush to trade here? I don't think so. Do you agree that card games require no skill? Yes, that is definitely my take. Hush to get rid of the last breath? It's a fair observation.
Who would trespass here? Nature blesses her followers.
You've broken through diamonds. You'll enter Masters here. As a patch 1.4, Master players will grant an additional amount of LP based on their MMR, and LP losses will calculated. An MP gains loss will be calculated on your MMR, that of your opponent, and how much LP you have in comparison to other Master players. Regardless of how much LP you have, Masters players will reset into Platinum 4 at the start of... Interesting. Oh no, the hush bug! Damn it, Riot. Coach Bird, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. So, there's a bug in this current patch that you can't silence something a second time. So, cannot. If something has been silenced, you can't silence bonuses off of it if they bonus it again after you silence it the first time. Is a change in behavior to how it works previously, and I'm pretty confident it's a bug. We keep Spacey Sketcher here, can find like a danger noodle to deal with an early Zoe. Hush is fine to good against a Victor Zoe deck. Priest seems fine. Slow. Yes, I don't care about my rank because we're in Masters. That's it. I mean, Alkaloid Summer, you literally just saw that not work. So I think what probably happened there is Equinox is a permanent, whereas Hush is temporary. But like, for instance, in the game we literally just played, I moonlighted and then hushed, which did not work.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
2 years and still enjoying the political rants. Thanks for the 2 entire years for Smith. Welcome back. So it's probably that permanent hush followed by temporary hush works, or permanent silence followed by temporary silence works. Death Ray. I'm supposed to be able to efficiently kill my 4-1. Sweet. No reason to attack in here.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Can you improve perfection? Rise, metal brethren.
You mean the same type of silence? So source in my mind implies same card.
Safety disengaged.
You could argue that that's pedantic, but I think it's an important distinction.
Know your path, the mountain changes.
No, two temporary silences from different cards don't work currently, Hobbit. So like we Moonlight Afflictioned and then hushed. We did confirm MMR exists for Masters. It was an FAQ. Make a command for that. Hey, thanks for re-upping your Prime this way, Mobius. I really appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
System upgrade. Primed and ready.
Well, someone in chat said Swim tested Equinox and Hush, and that worked. So what didn't work in this instance was Moonlight and Hush. So I would assume it's the type of silence is the difference in that instance. So one of those being a permanent silence and one of them being a temporary, whereas the two that didn't work together in this instance here on my stream were two temporary silences. Right, I mean, we're a little bit low on life, but we're getting the board mostly clear, and this Golden Sister here should help us stabilize pretty nicely next turn. I wonder if they have a Bastion here. Been debating on what to save. Pale Cascade, sure. I mean, to be fair, you don't even really have to worry about MMR at Masters. It's not going to, like, realistically change anything for you. It's just playing games still. Like, does knowing MMR exists actually change how you functionally play the game? It doesn't really, right? I should put some snacks in my office again, now that I'm not wearing my retainer during the day. It does if you want to climb. Can you explain how knowing MMR exists changes how you play the game because you want to climb? Like what? Knowing MMR exists, how does that change how you're approaching playing in Masters? Can you explain that to me? I don't understand how knowing that it exists changes anything. I can't think of a thing that it changes.
We chart our path by the stars.
Okay, so it explicitly disincentivizes you from conceding at 0 LP. So literally the only behavior change is you don't get to treat 0 LP as a rank floor in terms of that. So that's the meaningful difference. Knowing that there's a hidden MMR means that you don't get to concede games at 0 LP for quality of life purposes. We're gonna hush Zoe here and get in front of her.
You are beneath me.
Yeah, I think you could make the argument that lower LP swings from having a lower MMR is a net positive overall. I don't think there's a discussion about this is strictly better, strictly worse type thing. I think we want to just do this. Trigger Nightfall. And then depending on what they do, we'll probably Diana hook this. Low MMR means less LP gains and higher losses, unless I'm drastically incorrect. Do you have a source on that? Because that sounds like speculation. I did not see anything concrete in terms of numbers described in... Or is that just anecdotal based on what you've seen in practice? I thought all Masters was plus 15 minus 20 to make climbing harder. What are the different ranges you can get in terms of LP gain per win and LP loss per loss? Does anybody know? Like, I thought it was a static 15-20. Meaning you have to win more than you lose to climb, but apparently it's variable.
Face your heretic.
Stretch Frito, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. It's not stated, but it seems to be variable. Sure. Sheer means these trade, which isn't a big deal. And they're down to only 2 actual cards in their hand at this point, so 4 of these are gems, so our top end here should mean this game is pretty over. Yeah, I saw the descriptor that it says it's variable, but it doesn't give like a 15-20 range. So putting metrics to that is definitely anecdotal. Like, is there like, if your MMR is garbage, is it a 20-point difference? If your MMR is garbage, is it a 5-point difference?
Change is coming.
Sure, but I already knew that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's anecdotal and it's not an actual metric. We just want to gain some life this turn so we don't get burned out by their PNZ deck by mistake here. So we'll get to gain 7 off of this, and then 5 off of this. Yeah, but like, so MMR calculates how many points are at stake, differentiating between you and your opponent, but wouldn't that mean, unless my understanding of this concept is completely wrong, wouldn't it mean if I tank my MMR and then I queue into someone with a high MMR, that I would then stand to gain a bunch of points from winning that game and they would stand to lose a bunch? If my hidden rating is low and their hidden rating is high, that means the swing is higher, right? No, that's not true forever. There's a hidden MMR on top of the ladder points metric. Here's a link that says otherwise. On Runeterra's website.
Speak truth.
You always queue into similar MMR to you. That's the point of MMR. I mean, that's the point of MMR in like this perfect world, but in a functional world where I have a limited player base and masters split across 4 servers, that's not how it works out in practice at all.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now. Can you improve perfection?
Ooh, okay, so that makes sense. So if you have a low MMR and they have a high one, and you queue into them, your LP gain is based on your MMR, but your MMR swings more because you beat someone who's rated higher than you. Sure, that makes sense. So it isn't that the LP swing would be drastic, it's that they would lose a lot of hidden rating and I would gain a lot of hidden rating, which then in turn affects future gains and losses. Read. I'm gonna ditch this Hush here so I can pressure them.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
Morning, Logan. Blade Singer, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. It feels weird to me from a theory standpoint why you would have a hidden MMR over just having the LP ratings. It doesn't quite make sense to me why that's a desirable thing to have. It's certainly confusing from a transparency standpoint, as this conversation has shown. The ratings don't degrade. Okay, so it's a hidden system that works across season. Well, see, I think using a hidden MMR as a way to punish someone for losing on the rank floor is silly. People should just be allowed to lose on the rank floor and not have any negative side effects from it, in my opinion. It seems silly to me. The more I think about it, the more I think I'm of the opinion that it seems silly to have that in addition to LP. If I'm being honest, before someone linked matchmaking rating, before someone linked the article saying that it was the case, it just didn't make sense to me to like have both.
Daylight warms the heart and
With this in hand, we don't really need the meteor.
hush, evening approaches. What once was
Well, so I actually disagree with that, Mount Everett. Having a matchmaking rating in addition to a ranking when you're playing a purely skill-based game that depends on teammates actually makes sense. Because in that, you would have a hidden MMR based on like your kills during a match or some other kind of metric like that you could measure that's independent of your teammates, when your teammates largely hinge on whether or not you're winning or losing games.
calm mind and open heart greet the night.
The point of the change is to make it relevant to keep playing on the ladder once you had achieved high masters. Sure. That seems like a low value added for the amount of confusion it includes. I will say this, our Celestials that get bigger based on how many Celestials we've played in this deck get flipping huge. Like we played that 18 power 10 drop, it's like a 13 power Immortal Fire. In League of Legends, the MMR versus rank point problem solves the issue of one extremely skilled player on a low-ranked account that runes. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense either, gamers. Like, if you're on a new account, the MMR on that account would also be bad, right? Like, it doesn't address smurfing at all. It theoretically addresses someone who lets their account degrade in rank over sitting a few seasons out. But that's also kind of an edge case.
Descend upon them. You were misguided.
And see, at the end of the day, like I said, it probably doesn't functionally matter for most people. It definitely doesn't functionally matter for me.
Silver light.
Because they're playing better, they'll get more LP for each win and lose less for each losses. Weird. See, I feel like that feels like a weird rich get richer system, right? Like they're, okay, you're already winning a lot, so we're gonna make you climb faster. It's like, well, if you were winning a lot, you're already climbing quickly, right?
Starlight.
Like again, from the practicality standpoint of what does this actually do in practice, doesn't seem particularly useful. We both have a lot of cards and a lot of life in these games. You are not wrong. Yeah, but that's not the case in a card game, gamers. So, like, that's what you're saying. Like, the reason people are saying that MMR is good, you're describing, like, the things you're jumping through to say, or you're describing why MMR doesn't really make sense in a card game. So like this isn't like League of Legends or Valorant where someone who's really good at the game is just like mowing through players who aren't. You're right that there's some play skill differential, but like a random person with shit tier MMR and Masters versus the #1 ranked person on the ladder, the person with the worst MMR and Masters is probably going to beat that best ranked person in Masters, I don't know, 40, maybe 45% of the time. Like if you got to Masters, you're clearly capable of playing Runeterra in some capacity. I think I just take this hit. Oh no, we're one off. I was really excited when we drew that. I guess we'll do this. Yeah, exactly that, SC. Does not quite make sense in a 1v1 card game where non-games are concluded very quickly. Big agree. Well, whatever they're invoking off of this, they can't play. They should gem one of these, so this can't attack in for free. They did not. You wanted me to like gain 4 with a block? Yeah, maybe that was fine. Putting some damage on this would have made it not block on the backswing too. That's fair criticism. I'm just gonna go to 11 here. Oh. So silencing this means if they open attack, I can atrocity it. And I'm banking 1 spell mana, so if they don't open attack, I can Sky's Descent. That being said, they did just Star Shaping again here, so they could have another giant spell shield thing. Hopefully they just play the 10-10 that gives everything overwhelm, and then this just slaughters them. Would be the dream here. And they know I have something, right? They're trying to think through what it could be. This stream was pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. Live Twitch audience. Wrap it up. We're done here. Man, the sound effect on that one is a banger too. Boom goes the dynamite. Oh yeah. I feel like overall, I was pretty underwhelmed by this deck. It felt really clunky in that we have just so much expensive top end that we struggled to be able to play our hand out in games, and we died frequently with cards full of hands full of cards. I feel like I would be surprised if this deck as constructed was better than Plaza with Aesol, like, this deck is doing a lot to generate a lot of card advantage as you go into the mid to late game, but at the same time, and like the over-the-topness of it compared to Aesol just didn't feel as good. Like, Aesol explicitly helps you break through that. I have too many expensive Celestials, not enough mana to play them, because when Aesol levels, suddenly everything's free and you can vomit your hand out and kill them very quickly. The Sky's Descent was like kind of a mid-range control breaker in the same way that Aesol was, but it's a little bit clunkier to get set up. Like, Orion's Soul is card advantage on his own, whereas like this, in order to blow people out, requires us to have a pretty specific board presence in order for it to be really good, whereas Aesol can help us catch back up on occasion. So overall, I think I'd rather play like the Zoe Aesol Plaza deck rather than what this is doing. Wasn't super impressed with this particular mix of stuff. All right, at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and wrap on Runeterra